In December of 2005, two Indian ethnographers went looking for an Indian village in which to document daily life, village economics, village communications for Microsoft. Ramanathan and Kiruba were looking for an average village, one that was neither too small nor too large, not too well connected to urban centers, but not too isolated either. They selected Ariapalayam, a village about 2 hours south of Bangalore. All of the villages they visited are in Salem district in the northern part of Tamil Nadu state, a 4-hour drive from the researchers' home on the southeast coast in Pondicherry. They returned later with Mati, Santia, and Shanki to spend time in the village, to interview workers, shop owners, and landowners, to try to get a sense of what village life would be like before the internet arrives. Most of Tamil Nadu, indeed much of South India, has been very dry these past 3 years. In the village, the old well is completely dry, and the tank or reservoir that used to be used to irrigate village fields is dry too. Local farmers have compensated by digging wells 150 feet deep into the valley floor, using electric pumps to draw the water up for irrigation. The researchers met with the village clerk. He works with the village's leader, the Sarpanch. The clerk told them that the village is a regional center for primary and middle school education and for public health. But with only 2 buses a day, Ariapalayam is not really a commerce center. While water mining allows crop production to continue, young people who can do so are leaving the village, like this man's daughter, who, he said, hadn't married a good village boy, but had moved to Kerala, where soon she will have her first child.
நெல்லு தாங்க கொஞ்சம் கடலை போட்டுருக்குங்க பாருங்க அந்த பக்கத்துல கடலை கொஞ்சம் போட்டுருக்குது குச்சி கொஞ்சம் வச்சிருக்குது அப்புறம் கனகாமரம் ஒரு 50 சென்ட் வச்சிருக்குதுங்களா அப்புறம் நெல்லு தான் கொஞ்சம் நட்டுருக்கு
நெல்லு வருஷம் ஃபுல்லா இதே இருக்கலாம் மாத்தி மாத்தி போட நெல்லு
தான் போட முடியுங்க தண்ணி பற்றாக்குறையா இருக்குது இங்கெல்லாம் கிழக்கு இந்த பக்கம் கொஞ்சம் பரவாயில்ல கிழக்க இங்கெல்லாம் தண்ணி இங்கே இதே 100ல ஒரு 10 கிணறு தான் பயிர் இந்த மாதிரி பார்க்கலாம் பச்சை அப்புறம் எல்லாம் சும்மா கரம்பா தான் கிடக்குது.
Landowners grow the turmeric you see here, in addition to rice, groundnuts, and the kanagambaram flowers, the flowers village women wear in their hair. The team walked and mapped the entire village. As in many villages, there are 2 main groups of people in Ariapalayam. We mapped how each group lives in different parts of town. Landowners, who the anthropologists call hierarchy people, and wage laborers, who include some scheduled caste and tribal people, live in different parts of the village. This group of well diggers, boyers, will use their hoists and the iron buckets that they have stored away in their cow sheds to dig another well, a deeper well, later this year for another landowner. The wives of colony men will do wage labor when they can. Corn shucking earns them between 40 and 50 Indian rupees each day. That amounts to about $1 a day. But the work is seasonal, and it can't be counted on alone to feed a family. Woodcutting employs some colony men, some of the time, for just a bit more than $1 a day. Ariapalayam seems to have always had a brickyard. The operator of this one actually has a bachelor's degree in agricultural economics, but he was unable to find a suitable position, so he operates his father's brickyard. This morning his wife has ridden over on her bicycle and brought him a breakfast of pachu. The onions and the rice will keep his body cool for the hard work ahead, cleaning and moving clay, stacking dried bricks, and firing them in long stacks. His helpers are semi-skilled people. They work pretty much all year round, and they can earn a bit more than the seasonal agricultural laborers. The brickyard owner said that he wants a better life for his children. His brick-making business just manages to keep the family going. Ariapalayam is not along a main road, but television is available to everybody in the village. Most use cable, some even use satellite television. A clothing shop in Atur, the nearest market town, sent this advertising rickshaw to Ariapalayam. Pongal, the harvest festival, is coming soon, and people are expected to buy new clothes, Pongal gifts for their younger relatives. Other merchants visit this town as well. This one is selling sweet drinks. Some of them are local products rebottled in bottles from national brands. Other vendors include this bicycle vendor who's selling sweets, mittai, to village children. Wholesalers like this one visit the petty shops in the village. There are 4 general stores, 2 with tea shops attached, and they all rely on wholesalers for breads and other packaged goods. The wholesaler takes payments every 10 days or so. Today he's making his delivery while the shop owner is being interviewed by Mati and Sandy. Colony households do their cooking just outside the door to the house. They use packaged products every day in food preparation. But the center of the meal is being prepared from local pulses like this kalapurpa, ground by hand in a mortar to make vrai. The vermicelli you see broken up here is a packaged product bought from one of the village petty shops. Just inside the door of the house is an electric grinder. Not every household has one, but nearly every household does have a television, and a few have sewing machines too. It's possible that you might find this same coconut grater in upper middle class homes in Bangalore, and you'd see it used in the same way too, braced against a foot to remove the coconut meat. The average colony household like this one earns something less than $25 or $30 a month. Colony men and women always welcomed Mati and Santi by insisting they sit on chairs when they came to talk to household members. While furnishings are simple, every house is decorated with images of family, with pictures of important national figures, and with pictures of important gods. All of these images, and the television too, link colony households to wider South Indian systems of meaning and identity. Agricultural tools mark this as a South Indian rural family, a family that starts its day as early as 6 o'clock with fieldwork for adults. And when there is time, women and girls will refresh the chalk column designs just outside their houses, just as town dwellers do throughout South India. But Ariapalayam is not Mumbai or Bangalore. Remember that this is how most people in India make their way in the world. There is money only for a few consumer goods, like washing powder or these seasonings. This is a nation of villages, where members of joint families share small homes and still make many of the necessities of daily life by themselves. Both men and women work on household craft production, making matting or boxes or brooms at home. As the Tamil saying goes, a broom with only one straw cannot sweep. Husbands and wives help one another with some parts of household production. Like the brickmaker, this woman challenges the view of the uneducated villager. As a member of a scheduled group, a bus pass and college tuition are set aside for her by government. But she's not found it possible to continue college. Now, when she isn't taking care of her home and children, she's a wage laborer. Daily life includes fetching water. In all of village India, and much of urban India too, water is available in community taps. The sound of morning in Ariapalayam, sweeping, children bathing, mothers talking with daughters while braiding their hair for school. Later, household chores may include plastering the floor. Cow dung keeps insects out. People say it keeps the house cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter, just as it has done for centuries. This ancient practice coexists with satellite technology, bringing the BBC and CNN to hierarchy homes in the village. Landowners may share a satellite connection. Hierarchy people have multiple rooms in their houses, but the television has the same social place, reinforcing, along with daily newspapers, a shared Tamil identity, with shared tastes in soap operas and movies. The petty shops like this one are social centers. Regional papers arrive every day. This woman tells us that people don't like to buy the locally bottled sweet drinks. They prefer to buy Coca-Cola and other national brands. Her shop is fairly typical. She sells 2 or 3 bottles of soda every day. The average shop owner will gross between about $110 and $180 each month. Profits are small, and most businesses do their work on credit. People come in every 10 days to pay their bills. The community has several government-supported self-help groups, groups for women that make microloans, for example. And there is one local group that helps low-income school kids. Rajinikanth, the Tamil movie star, lends his name to this group. Rama learned from this association member that all of the funds are raised locally. Rajini can be seen in the movie house in Attur, in the market town, and also on a billboard for the Rajinikanth Association. Most of the bicycles here are for rent, not for sale. You could buy one if you wanted to, but the shop owner does most of his trade in tires and repairs. Here's another movie star lending her image to boxes of bicycle tire tubes. It's a kind of symbolic technology linking the village to Indian popular culture. The town medical shop has a visiting doctor. The shop earns about 1,500 rupees in gross income each month, doing a fairly lively business in patent medicines and in syringes. Injections are the favored means of drug delivery here for insulin, vitamins, and other drugs. And because the local clinic reuses its syringes, people prefer to buy the disposable models. So there is cash in the village. And although many colony people call it a sideline, milk production is by far the most reliable source of cash in the village. There are actually 5 organizations that exchange cash for milk in Ariapalayam. The most popular, the Village Milk Cooperative. Every day, over 1,000 liters of milk are collected at about 10 rupees per liter, depending on butterfat content. Villagers pay an annual fee of 11 rupees to participate. They bring their milk, a few liters at a time, to the co-op twice a day. Accounts are settled every 10 days or so. Many of the village cows have been bought through a government loan program, but too many people had trouble repaying, so government help to purchase a cow is no longer available. Cows are kept fresh through artificial insemination with the help of a visiting animal specialist. Milk production, wage labor, and petty shop operation are some of the ways in which women directly participate in the village cash economy. We have a lot more to learn about women's roles in the village, but in many ways, men are peripheral to the reproduction of village culture here. The home, women's terrain, is the place from where you go out in the morning and to which you return at night. The fields are the periphery. The grinding stone that accompanies a bride on the platform of her marriage ceremony is kept in the house, the key symbol of reproduction that domesticates agricultural products, products that involve a great deal of labor from colony women. Hierarchy people own the land. This is the home and the mill of one landowner. He has his own three-phase power and a tank that holds a few fish. His mill employs several workers who process rice, corn for animal feed, and ground nuts. Landowners, on average, earn a little less than 3 times what a wage laborer would earn. Income from crops or from enterprises like the mill allow a more complex inventory of household goods, consumer products, and homes where cooking can be done indoors. This kitchen wall belongs to a couple who are preparing for a government examination. The wall is covered with their study notes, and like many hierarchy families, they have a landline telephone. This elementary school and the secondary school both have phones, but no televisions. The new private elementary school has neither phone nor television. The research team arrived the day after a school-wide test. Teachers and administrators told us that students in the village were doing quite well by regional standards. Everyone in school wears a school uniform, and students bring slates to class, but paper is used for tests. The new private elementary school has the only computer in the village. It's not a working computer, but the school uses it to familiarize the students with the monitor and the mouse and the keyboard. Neither the private school nor the government schools have toilets. Most colony parents and children practice open field defecation. A free school lunch is served every day, though some parents pack a lunch for their kids. In India, support for free universal primary education, school lunches, health centers, and women's self-help organizations are part of a deeply rooted tradition of sharing. For Tamil people, charity creates a legacy that lives long after a person leaves this present life. Sharing resources with family, community, and visitors, however scarce those resources might be, are a way of life in Ariapalayam. Ariapalayam welcomes new technology as it does any newcomer. For new tools to take hold, they'll have to be important to the children of landowners. They are the ones most likely to remain here. And for everyone, appropriate agricultural technology, better health care, better incomes, better village infrastructure, and maybe a cricket bat or two will be the most welcome of all.